What is up, guys? Today we're going to jump straight into it. This is Carrie B with Crafting and Stampin' with Carrie B. For the month of February 2022, Stampin Up came out with this really cool collection of neutral tones in their Stampin' Blends alcohol markers. This collection is meant to highlight the diverse family of Stampin' Up crafters and the friends and loved ones that they share their crafts with. On today's episode, I will take you through my technique for making this fun all-occasion card. The first thing I'm going to do is start with the designer series paper that comes with this collection. And I'm taking the watercolor pencils to the background and blending it with the watercolor pen. It's a water brush. Then I'm going to go over the top of that with some alcohol inks. We're going to start by working light to dark. As we work, the colors will start to lighten up and blend together. I've tried to make note of the colors I've used, so if you're just trying to recreate this at home, you'll be able to. If you see a supply that I use that you don't have already in your collection, you can shop with me. You can go to floppypoppygifts.com and get a link to my Stampin' Up portal, or you can follow the link in my description. As always, I'd like to invite you to please like, share, subscribe, and comment. I really appreciate all of my followers, and if you have any questions, you can also put them in the comments and I'll get right back to you. I have to say, this paper holds up surprisingly well to a bunch of manipulation with different mediums. I couldn't have been more impressed with its performance. This paper that you're seeing is a 6x6 piece that comes with the collection when you buy it as a bundle. You can also buy it a la carte by itself. I cut it into 4 pieces and I'm just maximizing its use for cards. The way to achieve the best results with alcohol markers is to work slowly, layer them up, allow them to dry, and use a blender pen to push the pigments around. Watercolor pencils layer up over the top of them beautifully. What I love about Stampin' Up watercolor pencils, if you're a fan of Prismacolor or any other kind of watercolor pencil like Derwent, these absolutely hold their own against the competition. You can use them to create texture or treat them like a paint. Water does not affect the alcohol pens. Definitely make sure that if you're using those neutral pens that come in the All Together collection, the Natural Tones collection, that you go ahead and bring some of that into the background as well. That handy reference chart comes in very useful during a project. By the time you've gotten to this point, all of those colors have dried and you can see how they interact with each other. Check your hands if you need a little bit of guidance as to what a real hand looks like. A little bit of life drawing. I keep all those pens in order by number. The darkest color is labeled SU 100 and it graduates all the way up to the lightest color at SU 1000. Just keep those in order and it'll be easier to work with them during your project. Again, you want to work light to dark. It'll make it easier to blend. It's a lot harder to try to lighten things up once you've gone over them. While you can achieve highlights this way in a very realistic fashion, I wouldn't recommend it for trying to erase. Trying to add the joints of the fingers and the palms of the hand, the lines of the wrist. I'm going to go ahead and bring in the rich Razzleberry watercolor pencil. These watercolor pencils are from set 1 and they are a great collection. I use them pretty frequently actually. The watercolor pencils add a subtle hint of color that blends really well with the intensity of the alcohol pen. And again, you can go back over it with a water painter brush even after you've painted with the alcohol pen, and the alcohol pen will not move. Adding a little more dimension to the palms of the hands and the creases of the fingers. And using the blender pen here works well with the watercolor as well as the alcohol pens. Those blender pens work to sort of push the pigment of the alcohol pen through the paper, so that it feathers it as well as diluting it in a very subtle way. I do want to take a moment and remind you that February through the 28th is a Sale-A-Bration month. When you purchase $50 or $100 worth of products, you earn points towards free products like stamp sets and paper sets that are only available for a limited time, never to return after February. The thing I like to do is work back and forth, creating those layers of color and texture. So you'll see me use a lot of the same products several times in the video, but I'm just trying to build up those layers to give depth and create almost like a translucence. For the finishing touches on the hands, I use the watercolor pencils just like a colored pencil. I add some lines and some sort of scratchy texture, cross-hatching, and it just sort of gives it a really cute, poppy look. And one more little bit of blending for that background, going back in with some of those neutral tones to knock down that brassiness of that yellow.
Hey, this is Bo. Please like, share, subscribe to my mom's craft channel. Also, I like drifting.
I love that they used red rubber for this stamp set. I just love the chewiness and the sponginess of the red rubber stamps. The Here Together stamp set can be purchased a la carte or in the bundle. To keep that sunny vibe going, I've used Calypso Coral ink on a Pale Papaya cardstock, which is part of the In Color collection that was in the annual catalog that runs through April. There are currently 3 catalogs in play, including the annual catalog, Sale-A-Bration, as well as a mini catalog. This stamp set and collection is not in any of the catalogs. I've included all the SKUs in my blog, so if you decide you want to order them, they will be easy to locate on my Stampin Up portal. This technique is called matting. I also like to call it making a platform. It's an easy way to get a pop of color, texture, and depth to a card, and it's a great technique for using up scraps as well. In case you're wondering about that aqua colored paper there on the background, it is the B-side of the Simply Marvelous paper that's available on the Sale-A-Bration. The other side looks like maybe water or satin. I love the texture of watercolor paper, and it's not just for painting on, it makes a really nice platform as well. Last but not least, do not forget to add those sequins. There's a ton of really great embellishments in the back of the annual catalog.